Alright, so it's time for another game video, and this time it's Diablo 3. This is a game that everyone else have been playing for 10 years or so and stopped playing, and I recently got into it. But I felt like doing a Diablo 3 video. This is a hardcore hero. The game is currently set to Torment 9, however I'm going to run a game in the background where I clear Torment 10. With this demon hunter here. This will be a Marauder build. And first, let's have a look at the skills. So this is my build right here. Right now I got cluster arrow with loaded for bear. It increases the damage and does fire damage. It's pretty expensive, however we're gonna solve that. Then I got Vengeance with the Seath, and what Seath pretty much does is regenerate hatred. Gain 10 hatred per second, and we're gonna need that because this is a pretty expensive build. The Sentry I got Guardian Turret on, which creates a shield that absorbs 25% of the damage taken by allies inside the shield. You can take whatever you want there, it's not really a must. However, I feel that the extra safety is well worth it. On Vault, I got Tumble. After using Vault, your next Vault within 6 seconds has a discipline cost reduced by 50%. And yeah, Vault costs a bunch, and it's nice to be able to do a few more of them. Then we got Preparation with the Punishment to restore 75 hatred. It has a 20-second cooldown, however, it's more like 12 seconds with the cooldown reductions that we're gonna do. And then of course we got the Wolf Companion, and normally you just get one, however with the Marauder set you get all, and we're also going to increase the amount of wolves. Then we got Custom Engineering, and the great thing with this is of course that it increases the charges on the sentries to 3, which means that you can put out 3 sentries at once, and they also last 100% longer. This is pretty much a must in this build. This is one that I'm not sure about. Well, you do one-shot most normal mobs, so ambush, you deal 40% additional damage to enemies above 75% health. You do burn them down pretty fast in this build, so I guess that one's optional, you can take whatever you like there. Since this is hardcore, if you are not playing hardcore, then this is absolutely not a necessity. But on hardcore I would not want to be without awareness. When you receive fatal damage, you instead vanish for 2 seconds and regenerate 50% of your maximum life. This effect may occur once every 60 seconds. So basically it's a little bit of an extra chance if you die to actually survive. And it might not save you, but it's an additional little chance there to make it out alive. Steady aim is the last one. This is one that I've been trying out for a little bit. As long as there are no enemies within 10 yards, all damage is increased by 20%. However, if you do feel that you are having a little bit of trouble with the hatred, I'd go with the Blood Vengeance. Your maximum hatred is increased by 25, in addition gain 30 hatred and 3 discipline when you are healed by a health globe, and this actually helps a lot. And yeah, I did run with this before, I've just been switching back and forth between them. This is a little bit more necessary on higher torments, because the mobs, especially the elites and bosses, can take a lot longer to burn down, and when they do die, they drop this health globe, so it makes it a little bit faster to run through a rift. But that's the skills, and pretty much the only attack we have is cluster arrow. But we're gonna lower the cooldown of Vengeance so that you have Vengeance all the time. Alright, so before we start with the gear, I would like to go through the Kanais Kanais Powers in the Kanais cube. I have taken the crossbow Dawn and made that into an ability here, which reduces the cooldown of Vengeance by 65%. And this is not enough, so you want a gem on the helm to reduce cooldown even more, and a few pieces that reduce cooldown as well to be able to keep Vengeance up at all times, and also reduce the cooldown of Preparation by pretty far. Actually, it reduces all cooldowns. It's really nice, but the main part is to be able to keep Vengeance up at all times. And the secondary, the armor one, is the companion, wolf companion that we get from the Cloak of Garwulf. We get 3 wolves instead of 1. It's a chest piece, and yeah, it's great because we're gonna buff up our... I'll get to that in a second here. We want to get as many pets as possible, so this is a really great ability to have. As jewelry, I got Countess Julia's cameo. Prevent all arcane damage taken and heal yourself for 25% of the amount prevented. This is pretty important. I don't like arcane beams. They do a lot of damage, especially when you get stuck. You can take whatever you like in this Socketeer slot. I just prefer safety in this case, so being immune to arcane is certainly not bad. But there are other things that you can use if you want. This is optional. As a amulet, I also use the Star of Askarant, which is the fire version. Prevent all fire damage taken and heal yourself for 12% of the amount prevented. This is also optional. They are pretty hard to get, especially the fire one for some reason. But well worth it there to be immune to both fire and arcane. This part is not that important on the set. However, this is hardcore, so I prefer to stay safe. The gem that I got socketed into my amulet is Bane of the Powerful. Gain 20% increased damage for 68 seconds, which of course varies the higher rank you have. After killing an elite pack. And the 25 bonus is gain 15% increased damage versus elites and take 15% reduced damage from elites. So this is a great one. You pretty much run into an elite pack every minute or so. Won't be out of it that long. We also have the bracer that summons champions at pylons and shrines, so we get a lot of them. These bracers are also optional. If you don't want more champions, then there are other better bracers. So let's move on to the next ring here. We got the Ring of Royal Grandeur. This is... I'm pretty much just using it for its ability. Reduce the number of items needed for a set bonus. And 4 set bonuses by 1. So what it does is that you need 1 less set piece. Unfortunately, it doesn't work on sets with just 2 pieces. But this allows me to mix in a legendary piece. Or even if you got the correct pieces, use a 6 set bonus and a 2 set bonus. So this is a great ring. I am going to socket it. It's not socketed right now. I forgot. I'm sorry. The game that I want in it is the same as I got in Pandemonium Loop. And if you can't get the Ring of Royal Grandeur, I can really recommend the Pandemonium Loop. It does a lot of extra damage. It's just an explosion when you fire, basically. It's pretty nice. The game in it is Mutilation Guard, and I want to move that to my Ring of Royal Grandeur. It's 41 right now, so it gains 30.5% melee damage reduction. And the most important part, while below 50% life you may move unhindered through enemies. That's really, really great, and also the melee damage reduction, of course. It goes hand in hand with the game that I got here. Esoteric Alteration, I'm not sure how to say them. Gain 30.5% non-physical damage reduction while below 50% life. Your resistance to cold, fire, lightning, poison and arcane are increased by 75%. That's a lot. it does ensure your survival a little better, especially in combination with this one, which allows you to get out of that bunch that are killing you. And the ring is Credes Flame, Credes Flame, I'm not sure how to say it. When you take fire damage, it restores your primary resource, it's hatred. I'm not sure if it also restores discipline. I think so. Not gonna say it does, because it could have been something else, it just looked like it. But in combination with the Star of Askarant here, which prevents all fire damage taken, it's great actually, because it still counts. So if you stand in an explosion, you pretty much get full hatred, and you get a bunch of life as well. So yeah, it's been working out fine. But this ring is pretty much optional as long as it has a socket, so you can get a good game into it. Since I'm using the Ring of Royal Grandeur, I can use another chest piece than the Marauder set piece. So I'm using the Beacon Sail, or Beacon Sail? Beacon? Not sure how to say that either, I'm sorry. However, the main part here is, of course, when receiving fatal damage, you instead automatically cast Smoke Screen and are healed to 25% life. This effect may occur once every 120 seconds. I think that they can happen, both of them. I don't think that they both are used at the same time. However, if they are, it should give a little bit more life, I guess. I think they stack. Not 100% sure, but I haven't been able to find out yet because I haven't died. This is hardcore. I want to stay extra safe, so I went with Beacon Sail only for that bonus. Otherwise, it's not that great. And if you don't have the Ring of Royal Grandeur, of course, you should take the chest piece from the Marauder set so that you get the 6 set bonus, because that's the big bang. That's the one that does this set so great. So we will need to reduce our cooldowns, and the first thing is that we need a gem to reduce the cooldowns in the helm, because that's one of the really big cooldown reductions. I got this one, it's not necessary, but it reduces cooldowns by 12.5%. And you're also going to need a cooldown reduction on a few items. Let's see here, we got I got on gloves this ring, and yeah, you need on a few pieces to get it down to 0 so that you can use vengeance all the time. And basically that's where the main attacks come from. It's from vengeance and the cluster arrow. Okay, so the first set bonus here is the companion calls all companions to your side, which is great, especially if you are using the Zoe secret like I do. The belt, you can buy this for blood charge, just keep buying until you get it. You take 8.5% less damage for every companion you have active, so you can see that that's a lot of damage reduction. And also we are using the Cloak of Garwulf, which gives us 2 extra wolves, so you get 3 wolves instead of 1. It ups up the toughness by quite a bit there, your damage reduction. So that's how we get the most out of our 2 set bonus. The 4 set bonus is the 4 set bonus in the set Sentry Steel, 400% increased damage and cast Elemental Chakram, Impale, Multi-shot and Cluster Arrow when you do. So when you fire Elemental Arrow, Chakram, Impale, Multi-shot or Cluster Arrow, and they do as well. And the 6-piece bonus, your primary skills and Elemental Arrow, Chakram, Impale, Multi-shot, Cluster Arrow companions as well. And Vengeance, still 1200% increased damage for every active sentry. So that gives us a lot of extra damage depending on how many sentries we have. So in combination with that, we have the Bombardier's Rucksack. This one was a pretty good roll, increases sentry damage by 94%, and also you may have 2 additional sentries. So yeah, that's just buying quivers until you get it for blood charge. It's not that hard to get, and it's really, really good. Especially since it allows you to have 2 additional sentries, which is 2400% additional damage. As a main weapon, I'm using Manticore. And yeah, the normal one is great as well. I just gotten a few now and I got a couple of ancient ones, so obviously I'm using that. This one does increases cluster arrow damage by 74% and reduces the hatred cost of cluster arrow by 49%. That's the main part on them. You do more damage on cluster arrow and cluster arrow costs less damage. I've also used a consumable on it that gives an additional socket. I think that was well worth it. So let's see, I think that's all actually. Yeah, so that's pretty much it there. Let's go over the Paragon. Okay, so there isn't, how you put your Paragon points are not that important. There are a few though that I can recommend for this build. One is increasing the maximum amount of hatred. Usually, I think I went up to 15% movement speed and I started stacking hatred until I got maxed and I stacked out the movement speed because I like to run a little bit faster, but it's not that important. And now I've started putting points in dexterity and vitality, so I don't think you can max these out. On offense, I've gone with the cooldown reduction first. That's the one I can recommend going for as fast as possible because you want to get the cooldowns down on Vengeance. Then I went with attack speed. The faster you fire, the faster the sentries fire, basically. And now I'm working on critical hit damage. Here I went with first resistance to all, then life. Pretty no-brainish there. And now I'm working on armor. The last one I went with the resource cost reductions first, then I went with life per hit. And now I'm working on area damage. But the resource cost reduction, very very nice to have. And I think that's pretty much it. As a potion, I didn't say that I'm using the bottomless potion of Kool-Aid. And mainly because drinking Kool-Aid allows you to burst through walls summoned by Waller elites for 5 seconds. If you get stuck there or about to die, use the potion, you will get out of those annoying walls. So that's a pretty nice one. And I think that's everything. I think I went through it. The stats on the gear will of course vary. Take the best you can get to get most toughness and damage out of. Anyway, that's my build. It's not that great to be honest, however it do make Torment 10. And that's the highest I've been able to come so far on hardcore. Before I can move up, I think I need to increase a lot more. So I think that maybe you can make 11 with this build. Torment 11. Maybe it's going to be really risky, but I think that you can get through 11. But 10 is the highest that I've done. So yeah. Hope that you enjoy this video, and if you are playing Diablo 3 and want to try out Demon Hunter, this is certainly something to try out because it's a pretty fun build to play actually. It's pretty safe, does a lot of damage, you can clear a level pretty fast, it just flies stuff all over the screen. Yeah, I like it a lot and I wanted to do this as a recommendation. I have not seen anyone else do it, but it's been a while. I'm sure someone else has built a similar set to this. And I'm sorry that I have not been able to check that up. If that's the case, the credit of course go to that person. However, I didn't look on anyone else when I built this. Anyway, that will be it for this time. If you want to see more of these Diablo 3 videos, leave me a thumbs up on this video. Otherwise, there will be more videos eventually from the other parts that I promised to do. They are coming, it's just taking a long time. I'm sorry, I really am. It's just that the Let's Taste channel takes pretty much all time I have. I have been running one video each day over there. And yeah, it's harder than it looks to make a video each day. It takes a lot of time and also unfortunately makes my own channel suffer. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna try to make it better. And once again, thank you for watching, and thank you to my new subscribers. I've seen that I've gone up in the last month. Videos coming up will be the Sennheiser headphones that I'm using. I've been trying them out for a year. They are great, so there isn't really much to say there, but I'm still gonna make a video about it. And there were some more stuff I need to check up. What else I promised to do, because time just flies away here. But I think that will be it for this video. If you want to see more of these Diablo 3 videos, leave me a thumbs up on this video. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.